featuring a superior gas
seal and faster projectiles that
and faster projectiles that
caused enormous wounds
at
much longer ranges. Realizing they were at a disadvantage,
Realizing that they were at a disadvantage,
the Germans urgently began seeking a replacement
the Germans began seeking a replacement rifle
after the war ended.
after the war
The
ended.
Mauser Company stepped up to the challenge.
The Mauser Company stepped up to the challenge. 小博啊
With the Mauser Model 8
with the Mauser Model
1871,
1871,
a bolt-action design that
a bolt-action design
proved far more robust
that proved far more robust
than the delicate needle gun.
than the delicate needle gun.
Mẹ ơi, chắc Tết này con không về.
By now, the age of
By now, the age of
single-shot rifles
single-shot rifles
was quickly coming to an end.
was quickly coming to an end.
And in 1884,
And in 1884,
Mauser's design
Mauser's
was
design
updated to become one of the first
updated to become one of the first standard
issue infantry
infantry
long arms
long arms,
with a magazine similar to that
and then with a magazine similar to that
of the Spencer repeater.
of the Spencer repeater.
Soon after,
Soon after,
British Canadian gunsmith James Paris Lee
perfected
an integral box
magazine
fed by stripper clips.
But single
shotguns were not obsolete yet.
shotguns were not obsolete yet.
And designs like the Martini Henry
rifle
proved the perfect weapon for British troops operating all across their vast empire. In such remote territories, ammunition supply was a huge factor. And as ammunition grew more complicated, so too did the cost of shipping it out to the troops. This was also a drawback for guns like the Chassepot, whose rounds cost twice as much and were twice as hard to make as these simpler Dracer cartridges. Though many officers saw the potential of rapid fire
firing
guns, they also
rapid firing guns.
recognized that their
Recognized that their introduction
would triple any military budget
overnight
and create new supply chain issues that would take decades to fully address. The 1880s would see two more giant leaps forward in firearms technology. The first came thanks to the work of British inventor Sir Frederick Able, who patented a smokeless propellant known as cordite in 1889. Cordite was a mixture of
that's a complicated word. Cordite was the mixture
of newly discovered
chemicals
such as nitrocellulose
and nitroglycerin
and nitroglycerin that burned far more cleanly and efficiently than black powder. The patenting of cordite and other similar formulas solved the issues of barrel fouling and excess smoke production, meaning that it was weapons like the
Gatling gun
which saw the largest
saw the largest
benefits.
benefits.
While the idea of using the
a recoil
of a discharging
firearm
to cycle the action and chamber a new round had existed
a new round has existed
since the 1870s,
it
was the work of British-American
It was work of the British-American
Hiram Stevens
Maxim
that created the world's
first
automatic weapon in
automatic weapon
1884.
in 1884.
The Maxim gun.
The Maxim gun.
With a single barrel
cased in a water-filled jacket,
Maxim gun was relatively lightweight at around 60 pounds and could be operated by one man using a collapsible tripod, making it infinitely more portable than a carriage-mounted
170-pound
Gatling gun. Much like its older counterpart, the Maxim gun was first employed by the colonial powers during the scramble for Africa. But with the advent of smokeless powder, the frequent jamming issues that plagued both rotary and automatic weapons finally became a thing of the past. And the Maxim gun was soon being bought by many European powers ushering in the age of the machine gun. While previous inventions like the repeating rifle had shown the obsolescence of Napoleonic era tactics, it was the machine gun that would finally destroy all vestiges of the military status quo that had dominated Europe since the invention of the musket. As the long 19th century drew to a close, the arms race between nations only intensified. In the span of about 70 years, militaries had gone from using muzzle-loaded smoothbore muskets with an effective range of less than 50 meters to magazine-fed rifles that could land a bullseye over 600 meters. And machine guns were quickly coming to dominate the battlefield. Unfortunately, history has taught us that doctrine marches one step behind technology. During the Great War, generals convinced they could replicate the lightning advances of the Franco-Prussian War through thousands of men equipped with bolt-action rifles against entrenched machine gun positions, resulting in unspeakable losses. But even this deadlock did not last for long, as even more advanced weapons like tanks and improved artillery would eventually break these defensive lines and render them obsolete as well. If you want to experience the evolution in weapons from muskets to machine guns, check out our free strategy game,